taking voice lessons has set my career back by a couple of years. And I know that sounds really weird coming from someone who then decided to become a vocal coach and teach other people how to sing. So I want to walk you through the whole story so that you understand where I'm coming from. I just want to mention from the beginning that no, voice lessons aren't bad or harmful. You just have to be careful about a couple of things. So let's start from the very beginning. I started taking voice lessons right before I turned 13. I wanted to start way before that, but the school that I went to didn't allow anyone under the age of 13 to take singing lessons. So I had to wait. But right before I turned 13, they were like, okay, come on in, let's do a lesson and let's see how it goes. And I absolutely loved it. I loved my teacher and I learned so much in just that first lesson. I didn't even know that this thing called the head voice existed before taking singing lessons. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is why all these other girls around me can sing super high and I just can't. And so my teacher, Beatrice, showed me how to access my head voice and how to sing in my head voice, and my range expanded by like almost an octave within just that first lesson. And so of course I was like, wow, singing lessons is the best thing in the whole wide world and I'm gonna be such a great singer. You just wait and I'm gonna have this amazing career just like Christina Aguilera. She was like my biggest idol ever. And so I decided to continue to take lessons. And so all the way through middle school and high school, I was taking singing lessons with Beatrice. Throughout the 7 years that I was working with her, my voice grew like crazy. I became technically so much stronger. My voice became stronger, more flexible. My range expanded. I became a technically better singer, hands down. 9 months after starting my studies at Berkeley in Boston, I had the opportunity to audition for a manager down in Nashville who has helped other artists get their careers off the ground, and I was super excited about it. So what I did is I sent him a video of me singing You Lost Me by Christina Aguilera. I sent that to him. I made the recording specifically for him, and I did not hear anything back for a week. And before then, he was very communicative. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I made it into the door. I was asked to audition. Nothing happened. I didn't follow through. Nothing came out of it. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. This was supposed to be my chance. Because I felt like I had nothing left to lose with this manager, I decided to send him a recording of the sound check that we had at school a couple days before. I was like, the quality isn't that great, but let me just send it to him because I have nothing left to lose at this point. And I kid you not, within just a couple of hours, he called me and asked me to fly down to Nashville to sign the contract with him. I was so excited and at the same time really confused about like, wait, what just happened? What was the difference between those two songs? Like, why did one not pique his interest at all and the other one did? What happened? And so my manager actually helped me understand what happened. He said, in the first song, you had a great voice, you're a strong singer, but it just wasn't it. Like the it factor essentially was missing. And then he said in the second song, which was The Story by Brandi Carlile, which is very different from You Lost Me by Christina Aguilera, he said in that song, a different part of my voice was coming through that absolutely grabbed his attention and was like, this is it. This is exactly what I was talking about that it factor. That's what you need. And I was like, what is that? Tell me. It's your low notes. Your low notes are unreal. There is something coming through in those low notes that I haven't heard anyone do currently within the music industry. And I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? And now here is the explanation as to why singing lessons were the reason that my career was set back by a couple of years. Remember how I told you that before I started taking singing lessons, I didn't even know that the head voice existed. I was only singing low. But then when I was taking lessons, my range expanded so much. I was able to hit all these high notes, so much so that in school, in high school, and even in college, I was always a soprano because I could hit those high notes. And I was like, if I can hit those high notes, that means I should hit those high notes and that I am a soprano and that I should absolutely belt my face off because, Christina Aguilera does that, Demi Lovato does that, like all these big singers right now are doing this. So I need to belt and sing high. And so that's what I did, and that's what I focused on in my voice lessons. I completely lost sight of my own true and natural voice, which was sitting down here in the low notes and not up in the soprano high notes. So I thought for the longest time that I was a soprano, even though I have always been an alto. I'm telling you this story because it shows you that being a technically better and stronger singer doesn't mean that you're going to have a career in music. It's not the only thing that matters. I'm not saying it's not important at all. It absolutely is important. But if we only focus on technique and being a strong singer, then you'll always have something that's missing. You might make it into the door, but you're never gonna get anywhere. And so in my voice lessons that I've had for, over a decade from all these different people, like even Berklee professors who are supposed to help you, get ready for the real world, never told me that it's not just about being able to sing any song under the sun. It is about finding your thing, your voice, your prima voce, the sweet spot of your voice and your radio effect, the thing that makes you stand out from everybody else. Essentially, your it factor, the thing that everyone in these, TV shows always talks about. That's the thing that I was missing. And I worked with like 15 different coaches over those 12, 13 years. I didn't have a single coach who helped me work on finding my own voice, but only technique. And that made me lose who I am as a singer and as an artist. It made me confused. I'm not telling you this story to put blame on my vocal coaches that I've had in the past. No, not at all. They did a fantastic job, and truly, my voice grew like crazy. I became a much better singer thanks to every single vocal coach that I was training with, and I learned something new from all of those coaches. I'm not saying that to blame them. I am telling you this story so that the same mistake won't happen to you. Vocal training isn't the only thing that matters. When I was working with the manager and his team down in Nashville, that's when I let myself forget everything that I learned in my voice lessons and forget that I needed to sing songs like Christina Aguilera and Demi Lovato and Ariana Grande. And I allowed myself to just find myself and my voice and what makes my voice different and stand out from everybody else, and focus on my prima voce, the sweet spot of my voice, and not do what I think people want me to do. And so I wrote and recorded and released my debut album. I heard some of my songs on the radio. I won the John Lennon Songwriting Contest with one of my original songs in the category pop. I did magazine interviews. I played paid shows. I pretty much did everything that, you do when you start a career in music. And I felt like, oh my God, I finally cracked the nut. Like this is it. I'm not just in the door, but I'm like walking the walk now. I'm doing it. Eventually, I did realize that I did not want to pursue a career as a solo artist in the music industry, because I developed a passion for coaching and for helping other people basically avoid all the frustrations that I had growing up and going through vocal coaching. And so I developed the VoxTape Studios method of vocal coaching, which just kind of flips the whole script of taking voice lessons on its head. When you work with me or any of the coaches at my studio, we don't just listen to your voice and figure out, okay, what do you do well and what do you not do so well just yet, and then work on making the weaker areas of your voice stronger. This is what I did in literally every single voice lesson over 13 years with 15 different coaches. That's all I did. Work on the weaker areas of my voice to help me become overall a stronger singer. We don't do that with our students at VoxTape Studios. Our method focuses on finding your strengths and then work on your strengths, not your weaknesses. We want to help you find your prima voce. What is that thing, that sweet spot of your voice that makes people go from, oh, she has a great voice, to, oh my God, who is she? This is amazing. I need to hear more of this. We focus on making sure that you stand out from everybody else. We don't make you sound like someone else. We want to help you find your radio effect, your signature voice, your natural voice, your true voice, whatever it is you want to call it. We want to help you stand out from everybody else. And we focus on groove, which essentially means musicality, so that you don't stand on stage like a friggin' stick and you're just stiff and worried about what you're supposed to do with your arms. Like, no, we're gonna help you find that groove, move your body to the music to make you look, sound, and feel like a natural performer. So the thing that a lot of people say is natural talent, something that you can't learn. That's BS. You absolutely can learn this. That's what I had to do. I had to learn that too. And so if I can do it, I know you can do it too. Now, this doesn't mean that we don't work on any vocal technique at all. We do, but that's not what we start with. We help make sure that you go from singer to artist first by finding your it factor, that thing that makes everybody go, wow. And then we work on polishing your voice and making sure that we expand your range and belt higher and riff faster and make sure you have a beautiful vibrato or whatever it is that we need to work on. Eventually, we do get to that point as well, but that's not what we start out with, because being a great singer isn't going to help you start a career, but being an artist, and an authentic artist at that, is what's going to help you start a career. You can kind of think of our lessons at VoxTape Studios as a mix between vocal coaching and artist development. If you don't want to go through what I went through and just feel totally lost and confused about your voice, like what songs should you be singing to really let your voice shine? And what are the strong parts of your voice? What are the weaker areas of your voice? If you want to let go of that confusion and it is more important to you to become an artist and find that it factor than being able to sing any song under the sun, then I'd love to do a trial lesson with you so that you can experience the VoxTape Studios method of vocal coaching firsthand. I have no desire to teach you how to sing any song under the sun because it did not help me get any closer to starting a career in today's music industry. So why make you do the same thing? So if you want to do a trial lesson with me personally and give the VoxTape Studios method a try, just click the link in the description below to schedule a trial lesson with me. I would absolutely love to help you sing and avoid all the confusion that I went through so that we can cut straight to the chase, help you feel confident to put yourself out there, post clips of yourself singing, go and perform, and do so as an authentic artist